what would you say are some of the biggest benefits of doing it?
Well, in short, it's like flexibility, strength, and balance. Like if you just want it in short, that's what I would say. Yeah. But kind of explain that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Day-to-day movement, like mobility, greater range of motion, huge. Like we talked about the anxiety, like lowering anxiety, lowering cortisol levels.
Yeah.
And then just like getting stronger and stronger.
We believe that you are strong by design, and you were made in God's image to have a strong body, mind, and spirit. You're listening to the #1 strength and health authority podcast in the world. So let's get ready to unlock your potential and transform your life in today's episode. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode here on the Strong by Design podcast. Why are you bobbing your head?
I'm nodding in agreement. Yes.
I thought you were listening to a song or something.
Welcome, everyone.
This is going to be a fun episode. Certainly, they got the crew here. There's 4 of us huddled in the compound around microphones, and we have a very special guest, somebody that's a big part of our team over the years. And so we're happy for her very first time here on the Strong by Design podcast, first time ever on a podcast, Miss Jenn. And so we are really looking forward to learning a little bit more about her history, her life, working in the yoga space, and a lot of things I'm sure that we don't know about Jenn that we'll learn today. So that's exciting for us to get to share her with you, our Strong by Design family. We'd like to thank you for coming back and listening to the show. If you haven't yet left a rating or a review, please do that, because we would really appreciate it. We'd love to hear your feedback. We'd love to know more about what you'd like to hear from us, guests maybe that you really enjoyed or topics that you enjoyed. And so we'd like to know that. And so find us wherever you can, on social media, on our YouTube platform, anywhere you can reach out to us. Let us know a little bit more about what you're thinking as listeners of the show. If you're a new listener, welcome. Today's going to be a fun one.
If you like the show, you should.
If you like the show, you should let us know. If you don't like it, then just go away. Yeah,
move on.
There's plenty of other podcasts for you, right? So I'd like to welcome the extraordinary, the wonderful, the one and only Jenn Witaconis, our longtime yoga instructor and good friend here at Critical Bench, who has been here. I don't even remember how many years now that you have been here.
Like,
how many?
I don't know, 5 or a little bit over.
I feel it's more than
6
5.
years.
I feel like it's at least 6.
Gone fast.
It has gone fast.
Weird.
It's really weird. So now Jenn is like the real deal. Okay. She's the real deal yoga extraordinaire. We had her come to us because you know what it was? We had Zach teaching us for a few years.
Zach was your first guy, right?
Zach was our first, our introductory yoga session. And he was doing more of, I think what you call, is it yang?
Like yin yoga.
Or yin.
He told me and what you guys described.
Relaxing poses, holding positions for long periods of time. That's mostly what he did with us?
Yes.
And that's yin?
That's yin.
Yeah, pretty much called yin yoga. Maybe he did a little bit of slow flow. I don't know.
He did.
Is yin the white side or the black side?
Like yin, yang.
Isn't it the same thing? Different thing?
It kind of does relate to that. There's like a little bit of depth in that, but the basis of like yin yoga is longer held stretches that you kind of like. It's mostly seated, and it's just kind of like relaxing into the poses.
It was more relaxing. Yours is definitely more strenuous. I mean, where it's like a real workout.
Yes.
His was definitely more prolonged holds and like kind of uncomfortable positions. Trying to breathe and relax into.
You get to that point where you're like at your edge, but you're working past your edge in a slower pace, typically than a vinyasa class, and we can talk about what that is too.
Okay.
So yours is not called yang
we'll
yoga. It's not yang yoga.
I don't do
there's no yang yoga.
I mean,
the yin and yang aren't related.
If I taught yoga, it'd be yang yoga.
Sure, you'd make something up for sure. So yang yoga is not a thing. It's not a real thing.
It might be. I'm not all knowing of the yoga, but I don't know of any yang yang yoga.
Okay, all right, good. I'm just curious.
So we had Zach for years
Yeah.
teaching us. I think 3, and then I think his life was changing. His schedule was
Yes.
changing. I think it was getting complicated having him come here regularly every week. And it was Courtney, Mike's wife,
Yes.
who was taking classes with you, and
used to
she
come
was
to my
like raving about
classes.
you to Mike. And it kind of happened. He asked or
Yes.
whatever, and then you started coming here once a week and never stopped. And
Yes, she came up
poof.
to me one day after a class and she's like, "You'd be perfect for my husband's company, the Critical Bench." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "You should talk with him." And I was like, "All right." I was intrigued. So then I talked with Mike, and he's like, "All right, let's have you come down and kind of just do a session with us." And from there, it just continued. Yeah.
Do you think she was trying to get Mike to be more flexible? Was that for her?
Is that a
That's
metaphor
one thing
in
that
life?
she said.
Yeah.
She was like, "I really want him to be able to do forward folds." Not
I want to see him in crow pose.
Full back
a
bend.
full back bend. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's getting
very
there.
Can you
helpful
imagine, Mike?
in their life. So
Yeah, that'd be great.
We're working on it.
How did this evolve? First of all, what was your initial interest or exposure to yoga?
Yeah.
And how did that blossom, or how did that grow, and when did this all take place?
Okay, so when I first really started trying out yoga, I say trying out because it was just like a class here and there. I was in my 20s. I was probably about 24 or 25. And a friend of mine, when I lived in Philadelphia, dragged me to a Bikram class. And
That's the hot one.
It was hot. Yeah, my first class was a very hot class. I remember it had a potbelly stove in the corner of the studio. So when they heated it up, it was really hot in there. And I'd never
Sweaty in there,
yeah, I'd never been to a hot class before.
You'd like that.
Yeah, and I was I looked around at all these different people that were doing all these amazing things even before the class. They were warming up doing crazy things, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's not going to be for me."
So that was your first yoga class?
Yeah, and so halfway, or not even halfway through the class, we knew the teacher was a friend of my friend's, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Just take child's pose." So for most of the class,
You were in
I was
child's.
in child's pose. Most of it, yeah.
Which, for people who don't do yoga, it's a relaxed position where you're kind of your knees are underneath you,
Yes.
and you brought your
You're
chest and
basically-
head
you're not
down.
doing anything.
You're not doing
You're
anything.
just-
It's a relaxed
Just
pose
relaxing.
when you're struggling to do other things.
Yeah,
you
you want to
can
get
always
your
go.
breath back.
Yeah.
Because you know how it is when you first start doing
Oh, yeah.
yoga and you start, maybe your heart rate goes up and you start breathing heavily. And then just when you lose it when you're doing cardio, running or something, you can lose it in yoga that way too. So they're we like you to get low, take a break. And child's pose tends to be one of those general poses that you could take with a little bit more ease and get low on the ground, especially when you're heated up in a heated room. Getting low is good because you know how the heat rises.
So they just started you there. They were you just do child's pose the whole time? Or-
No, I would get up and do things, and then obviously I was
Okay.
stressed. I
Okay,
showed
okay.
stress, and he was just like, "Child's pose."
And everyone else was an expert in the room? They were all
To me, you know, when
yeah.
you go into a room and it's most practitioners, if you ever had anything like that, it doesn't have to be yoga, it can be something else, where it's people that are experienced at the thing, and you're everybody looks experienced.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like going snowboarding for the first time with friends, and they're all double black diamond, and you're
Yeah.
I guess I'll go tubing.
Yeah.
I'll go tubing
Yeah, I
this
don't
whole
know if
time.
this is
I think I'm
for
all
me.
right.
Yeah, or they're trying to convince you to go on the double black diamond. And
Yeah.
you're like, dude, I'm a green, maybe a blue trail
Yeah, yeah,
skier.
yeah.
I am not a black anything skier.
Yeah.
But that's what friends are for.
Yeah.
So that's your first exposure to it. What started your interest in it? I mean, you're like, well, that sucked.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
I'll try it again next Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean,
It wasn't consistent for me for years. I would just go here and there, and usually I would go because after we would go to hot yoga, we would then go out for margaritas and tacos.
and completely undo all of that good thing.
So that's actually why I went.
But you didn't
because
des-
I
you
went,
didn't
I went
deserve-
for the
you like the-
margaritas.
oh,
and
You
the
didn't deserve the margaritas and tacos until you did
I
the
felt
yoga.
like I did.
but
Yeah,
you have to do the
afterwards
yoga
I did.
first,
I was
yeah.
Gotta
bring
replenish.
on them margaritas.
Oh
you know what I mean?
my
So
God.
that was even college, I guess, maybe it was like 22, 23, that I started doing that. So that's what yoga meant to me at first. I was like,
There's
you
a social
do the
event.
yoga, yeah, and then
Okay.
you go get the tacos.
Okay. And so eventually, tacos and margaritas aside, it grew, and you got kind of into it, started to know what you were doing, and
Yeah.
got. I guess you felt like you were getting good at it.
Well-
because usually you have to develop a little bit of a skill
Yes.
in order to have maybe more of a passion or a love for it.
Agreed.
Well, she was an expert at the margarita part.
I
think,
was.
Eventually, really.
I was a professional at the margarita.
You excel.
See, this I did not know.
Yeah.
See, I'm
you
learning
learned
so
something
much.
new. No, so actually, it wasn't until I have 3 kids, you guys know, but I'm just letting them know. And my first one, she's 14 now, and I was in like my late 20s, and after I had her, I started to get anxiety. I was at home after I was like working at an office for like 5 years, and none of my friends had kids yet, and I was just like very anxious because I didn't know what to do with myself. Like I was at home being this mommy to this baby, and it was great, but then my mind would go idle a lot. So that's where the anxiety would come from.
Okay.
And so I knew that yoga was helpful, but I hadn't really used it like in that way, like seriously, like looked into it. So I started to really read up on what yoga was all about, how it could help me, and meditation. And so I started meditating, along with, the pose practice. They call that asana practice or whatever, or, there's a lot of different words, but that's one of the terms. So I started looking up on it, and I meditated and learned breath work. And those were the biggest factors in helping me sort of contain my anxiety at the time. I read some books and whatnot. So it was just really helpful for me to go through this evolution of, learning to meditate and learning about yoga, and then also putting it into practice physically too. So, yeah.
Wow, it's funny because I wouldn't have thought that necessarily, but it makes perfect sense that people would be drawn to it for the other things that it provides, not necessarily the physical
Right.
impact or fat loss or to do, feeling better, feeling more mobile and flexible. It was like a mindfulness, de-stressing breath work kind of thing.
Yes.
During a challenging period in your life, being a new mom, you know, and
Yes.
And I bet you couldn't do the margaritas at that point.
No,
so
I
you
didn't
had
do
to
so
move
much
for
of the
something
margaritas.
else. It was
Right.
sort of like, no margaritas.
Yeah.
Now
I was like, okay,
meditation.
what shall I do next?
and
So
so
that's what happens when you lose the margaritas.
Yeah, you like
right.
master the margaritas, and then you're
Right.
like, well, I can't become a master of it anymore. I got to become a master of something else. Like,
Something else. Another distressor.
good. Well, I'm so glad you chose the route of yoga instructor
Not margaritas.
over alcoholic.
This could have went a different way. Yeah.
Could have
Totally
been
a different way.
right.
She could have
We
been
could
fully
be having
Jimmy Buffetted
This could
out.
be like one of those things. What do they call those? Where intervention.
yeah, that's true. Good,
Today could have been an
We
intervention.
sit down and then her whole family comes in. What is
no.
this? Well, we want to talk about the margaritas.
podcast. It's like, no, Jen, come. Put that down.
Yeah, that's how we got you here. We thought
One of those big drink.
the extra tall ones.
the Stanley,
The Stanleys,
mug,
yeah.
not water.
What do you got there?
The not water Stanley. Yeah. Oh, anyway. So, gosh, and so in a flash, 10 plus years has gone by.
Yeah.
Now your oldest is 14.
Yeah.
And you've been doing this now. So when did you first get your instructor? Did you do the RYT 200 or what was your initial?
It's the 200 that you initially get.
Yes.
So when we moved here to Florida, because I was still living in Pennsylvania at the time, and I had sort of, I don't want to say gotten my anxiety under control, but it's a maintenance thing, you know? And once you start to develop the techniques, it's like, for me, I was like, oh, I would love to share this with other people. And I was also at the same time very into the physical practice too. So I was like, okay, this physical practice has all these benefits. And then also I want to share even more so the breath work, the meditation, and the knowledge that I've learned to help other people with their anxiety and whatnot.
Yeah.
So when I did get here, I knew I was going to go into a teacher program. Yeah.
And probably a good thing to get involved with, maybe as a mother, and then you have another kid, and you can kind of work your own schedule to some degree. There's a lot of flexibility with that,
True.
so that helps.
That all went to it too.
No pun intended. Pun intended. Yeah. So that's cool. So what would you say are the top, if you had to pick top 3 benefits of yoga? If you were you're talking to our audience, the Strong by Design family listening, they don't know much about yoga. They've never done it. I'm sure some people have who are listening. What would you say are some of the biggest benefits of doing it?
Well, in short, it's like flexibility, strength, and balance. Like if you just want it in short, that's what I would say. Yeah. But, just to kind of explain that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Day-to-day movement, like mobility, greater range of motion, huge. Like we talked about the anxiety, like lowering anxiety, lowering cortisol levels.
Yeah.
And then just like getting stronger and stronger.
I like the balance element too, especially because so much of what I've done in my history working with people was with an older demographic, and how just so
that can be very
paramount
challenging
balance is stability and feeling confident on your own 2 legs. People, we see it all the time, right? You see people, they get past a certain age, 50s, 60s, they start moving less, they start taking less risks, they start, I don't want to go upstairs, I don't want to go downstairs, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, and all of a sudden they've isolated themselves. They're very limited on what they can do, but yoga, has a lot of positions and stuff where you're on one leg, you're doing stuff that is very hard for the 3 of us here. Maybe not so much Lindsay, which we'll get to in a little flexible bit. But I think it becomes increasingly important as we age to get involved in this type of training.
But the thing that's nice is you can even do yoga from a chair.
Right,
so,
true.
a lot of people have heard of chair yoga before. There's a lot of things that you can actually do with chair yoga.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And some people even start in a chair and they can get up after they build the strength from the chair.
That's right.
And then talking about the chronic pain element of it, it's not going to be any sort of miracle, but it is going to help lessen chronic pain. And you do have to be a little bit consistent with it in order for these things to work. But it definitely it can help all of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably some people listening that maybe are like, they have these connotations or things associated with, they hear yoga and they immediately think, oh, that's for this type of person, or that's for that type of person. That's not for me.
Yeah.
That's just for women. That's just for, you can't really get strong doing it. That's for girly men, that type of stuff.
Sure.
And I probably would have thought the same thing years ago, right?
Right
as
away,
a
off the
long time
bat.
weightlifting, strength coach kind of guy.
Yes.
And then you do it for a little while. And then you realize, oh,
I'm a girly guy.
I'm a girly guy. Right. That's why we like it so much.
It's a good way of putting it. I like that.
Sorry, you set me up. I had to.
Steve, that's why you're
smack
here.
it out of the
It's
park
why
there.
you're sitting in a seat. I could have just done this with just me and Jen.
It's true.
And
I
it would
don't
have
have to
been very
be here.
professional.
He tag teams well, and he does knock it out of the park.
He does.
Really
He's like the Ed McMahon to the
about
Johnny
me. Oh my gosh,
Carson.
yes.
It's not about
Yeah.
me right now.
It's not about
It's
you.
about
It
Jen
kind of is.
and yoga.
You're wearing your yoga tank top.
You are in your yoga
he's
gear.
I
it
was
is
here. I had a shirt. I was going to be sweating through it. Have
He did.
sweaty boobs.
He actually
I'd be like,
he
I
showed
don't
me in the
know.
kitchen. He's like, Chris, what do you think? Do I wear this
He
one?
said
I'm
no,
like-
and I went,
I
yes.
said, keep your tank top on, dude.
It was a good move.
Yeah, more people are
a good one.
listening than watching.
Yeah.
But for those watching, they get the full
That's a nice top.
Steve
Now
thing.
all the attention is on me.
What do you have?
I have a list of fun
Oh my
facts
gosh.
about yoga.
Uh-oh.
that-
He has like
a few of them
57 things written on a
confused
piece
me.
of paper.
I'm not
Oh.
going to read all of these.
Okay.
Go
It says,
for it.
ideally, yoga should not be performed in front of a mirror. Why would that be? Why would that be one of the fun facts? Because we have a mirror here, and I'm always
I don't.
looking at it, making sure,
Yeah, right.
like, okay, what are my
I
hips?
understand why someone would think that
Yeah.
because it's a vanity thing, maybe. Like, or maybe you're it's either vanity or too absorbed in maybe the negatives of how you look. But that might be the first stage of looking in a mirror. But after you get used to looking in a mirror, what you're looking at really, if you're paying attention to your body as you move, is your alignment and everything. And so it's much more
is there like a
popular
mystical reason to not look in the mirror?
I don't know of any mystical.
I don't know.
There's no magical reason. But
Interesting.
I like a mirror because I like students to be able to look at themselves and look how their body's aligned. Because there's certain things that are hard to figure out by just felt sense. Over time, yes, you get better at the like proprioception of it. But for the most part, a lot of times we'll need to, especially with more challenging poses, we may need to look in the mirror initially when we go to execute the pose, or while you're in the pose, and I'll say, hey, take a look at yourself just to make sure that your hips are even. Or you know how I have you guys put your hand up on your hips for a revolved triangle?
I never know what's going on. Yeah, you're like, move your left hip forward. I'm like, what's forward? Like I start to get confused.
Well, and that's why I use those other sort of, I forget what the word is right now, but like where you're kind of using your imagination to feel something like, oh, imagine you're holding a block between your thighs or something.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like students can more readily feel when you give them an explanation like that.
Sure. No, I think it's great. Your cues are usually right on point, and you're able to really help us in that. You said the key word there is proprioception, which is spatial awareness. It's like your awareness of your body in space, which we can lose quite a bit as we age when our senses start to diminish. When our eyesight and our hearing, when those things start to fail us, then our proprioception also gets worse.
100%.
It diminishes. So that's another huge bonus for doing yoga, for doing the practice. And there's so many different varieties. Can you talk a little bit about there's lots of different kinds of yoga practice. Could you just kind of touch on those a little bit?
Rattle them off.
Okay. So when we talked about, so the first thing that comes to mind is vinyasa flow, right? So vinyasa flow is generally a bunch of different yoga poses all circled around or centered around the vinyasa, which is chaturanga, up dog or your cobra pose, and then to downward facing dog, right? So that's your basic vinyasa flow. So you might start with a vinyasa to warm up. You might then do a few standing or seated poses and somehow work back into the vinyasa again to reset. So it's almost like a reset every time. Then usually we throw in sun salutations. Now, sun salutations are in other forms of yoga too. But that's your starting in mountain pose, upward facing upward mountain, and then you're going to forward fold, half folds, and then you'll go into the vinyasa. So that's when you guys step back or jump back to the chaturanga and do the whole vinyasa.
Yeah, which is crazy because it is like we've been doing this for years now, and it's like to explain some of these things, we would do a lousy job, most likely, at explaining
you go
any
up,
of this.
You put your hands, you go down, you do
But when she leads us in class, we know, like,
It
we're able
clicks
to,
in.
we know, like,
Makes
when you
sense.
say, all right, do a vinyasa or, chaturanga, like, it's just like we intuitively know what
It's a
she's
different
asking
language,
us to do.
yeah.
It is. And it's, all these years later, and I'm still terrible, but I always, we say this every time.
I don't think you're terrible at it.
Okay, well, thank you. Appreciate it.
in the scheme of things.
Mediocre
I
at
Amongst all
best.
the
mean
people
it.
in the world, we're probably
But I
top
always
20
feel
Who's
I always feel
judging?
better afterwards. I always feel like I did something really good for myself.
Yes.
And we always end with a little bit of the quiet
Shavasana at the end,
which is really nice. And we om at the end, and it's a very good thing to do when everything else I do is resistance training,
Right.
With weights and everything else. So
Yes.
it's really, I like it for the mobility
Yes.
that I know I'm losing as I get older and sitting at a desk all the time. Then, of course, we have the wonderful Lindsay, who's in great shape and like nails all these. She does stuff too that's just like, wow,
crazy.
like, look at the stuff she can do. But like, how much had you done yoga prior to working here for the last year and a half?
I took a few yoga classes here and there when they would offer it, like at the gym. I think I did other stuff that helped me be better at yoga when I was young. I did
You were a cheerleader or
acrobatics.
something?
That's
yes,
right. And
yes.
you were.
So-
Did you do cheer?
Yes. So I started with acrobatics, and that more made my back super flexible.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, because
Back
you can do.
bending,
What's that
grabbing my
crazy one that you do?
ankles.
She does like a wheel into a kick.
Like a kick over. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she comes up standing
Yes.
and then drops back.
Right.
Things
yeah,
like that.
so
yeah.
that gave me
Yeah.
a lot of back flexibility. And then I got into cheer for so many years,
Yeah.
and that is...
That's why you bring the pom-poms to yoga class, right?
Oh, that was
That
the
explains
reason.
it.
yeah, and that...
Ready? Let's go. Yeah.
We should do an acro yoga class. I think she'd be really good as a flyer. You know, when you put the person up on your feet.
Maybe I'm
You
skipping
guys are
that
super
day.
strong.
I think I'm skipping.
No,
that
you're the
day.
base.
Yeah, duh.
Oh, I have to do the whole thing?
the bass.
I'm the Patrick Swayze.
Yes. Yes.
Come on, you want to be the Swayze.
I want to be the Swayze.
And then Steve, you
I'm
and
not
Mike.
holding Steve.
I'm flying. Mike's flying me.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be great.
He'll
like
be
it.
your Patrick Swayze.
Okay, good.
You can be.
I need a larger Patrick
You're
Swayze.
Jennifer.
Oh, okay.
You're Jennifer Grey that day.
Yes.
All right. I'll
And
take
Mike will be Patrick Swayze.
That'll be fun.
And I
Yeah.
the time of my life. Come on, Steve.
I'm not
All
singing
right.
today.
It's a
All
duet,
right.
Steve.
It is
So,
a great, it is a
like
great song.
gymnastics and cheerleading. That was kind of you prepped
Yes.
you for yoga,
Well,
basically.
acrobatics is pretty different than gymnastics.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
It's weirder. It's a lot like
What's the difference?
Yeah,
you're
tell us.
contorting your body more. Where gymnastics, I feel like, is more learning flips and
Yes.
stuff. Acrobatics is a lot of contorting your body and strange, really hard to get into ways.
And that was a class you took, like when you were
Yeah,
a
and
kid?
then
Probably
yes.
a lot of classes.
Yes, a
'cause
lot of
she's very
classes,
good.
and then we would have like a recital of some.
Oh, wow.
my
What's
God.
the recital?
Yeah,
You're all on.
that's so
You're on
cool.
stage, just like bending and
Yeah,
morphing
Yeah.
on
kind
stage.
of. It's like a routine, and everyone's
Interesting.
I don't know.
They have that at my daughter's dance studio. And I was wondering about that, but I know what you mean, though, because I've seen photos of them doing the stuff. Like, do you do chin stands and all?
I did.
You used to,
It was
yeah.
a while ago.
A little
but-
scary, those chin stands.
Yeah.
You know.
What that mean?
Yeah,
Someone
we'll
stands
have to
on
show
your
you
chin?
sometime.
Yeah, but-
we could show you like the easy version of the chin stands.
Okay.
And then
And there's a hard one, too.
high school, just classes that my gym offered. I always liked it though.
Yeah.
Always.
That's
But
awesome.
like you're really active. You work out a lot.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
you do yoga with Jen every week, pretty much. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's generally it's the three of us, and then
Yes.
Mike when he's capable of
Yeah.
getting
Half
out here.
the time, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, a full class for us here at the compound is the four of us plus Mike
Yes.
out here doing a class.
One last question for Lindsay: do you hurt
Yes.
as much when you miss a week of yoga?
Oh.
Same as I do, at least. I know
Oh,
if I
you
miss
do?
Yeah.
if I miss a week or two, like everything is like
Wrecked.
everything's
Yes.
messed up now.
Yeah.
Definitely. I've been feeling super tight and creaky, and I'm super active. I'm in the gym like 5 days a week. I run twice a week.
That's good.
I hate to admit it, but I do need the yoga.
Yeah.
Some
Ah,
days
so it's not
I don't
just
want
us.
to do it, but I know I need it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
All
know.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to how you feel during, of course, you know, because your body has like its specific language that it's speaking to you in. It's those cues that your body gives you.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, your body will tell you how it feels again. And usually with yoga, if you're consistent enough, I'm not saying every day or anything, but you know, somewhat of a consistent practice, and you try to listen to your body while you're practicing so you're aligning well, you're going to feel better afterwards. Now, that being said, though, with alignment and whatnot, if you don't have an instructor, I would urge anyone to like use the videos from Critical Bench or whatnot, because we give alignment cues.
Yes.
And then once you learn those things, or as you learn those things, you're then also going at a pace where you're listening to your body. And if your body says no to something, it doesn't matter what the instructor says. If you're feeling like extreme pain, you know I say this to you guys, and there's a difference
Sure.
between a little bit of discomfort and there's like screaming pain.
Absolutely.
And your body's like, no, don't
Right.
do this.
Right.
And that's when we have to know to like edge back a little bit. And as well as it tells you too
Yeah.
when you need a little bit more.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's everybody's going to feel a little. I mean, from Lindsay's body type plus her youth compared to our body type, and mid late 30s.
Don't compare my body type to your body type.
I'm not.
Very different body types.
So full of crap. I was trying to give you a little bit of a compliment by saying, middle late 30s to the old guy over here. All
right. A younger. You were saying I'm younger.
Much younger.
Okay.
Better
where
version.
You were going.
Yeah, hairier version.
A better version. I like better. Let's go better.
Sure.
Let's stick with better.
Like you worked that in
Let's
there.
just stick with better.
The hairier version.
So we were
great.
listening to the types of yoga. She got through 2, and then we went on tangents.
We did. A lot of tangents.
She was about to get to goat yoga, and I'm curious about that one.
And she already met, and is it Bikram, which would be one. This is the hot yoga.
So it's not just so it's hot. It's in a 105-degree room, but it also has a set 26 poses.
Oh, wow.
So the initial practice is 26.
Wow.
Yeah, and sometimes it's referred to as hot 26.
There are 84 poses or asanas
Altogether in Bikram?
altogether. I don't know. The official count of yoga poses.
Well, thank you.
If you
84.
Tell us
total it
more,
all up.
Steve.
Wow.
Sorry. Continue.
No,
Continue.
it's okay.
These are
That's
the
all
fun
I had.
facts.
That's all
love
the
to
fun
Actually, I
facts.
think it's time for a few more fun
okay.
yoga
All
facts.
right.
Why don't you just
One
go?
more fun fact.
Okay.
And I need her to
Pick a good one.
weigh in on it. Male practitioners are called yogis. Female practitioners are called yoginis. And is that true?
Are you a yogini?
Yogini. It sounds like Mario and Luigi.
Right.
Like
I don't mind being a yogini, and I guess that's technically, but okay, so when you're in a class, most teachers aren't going to be like yogis and yoginis. They'll be like, hey yogis, or they'll say, namaste yogis.
Okay.
I really don't say that, but there are some teachers
This
that
is
do.
like an actors kind of thing. Because if you're in a room talking to a room of actors,
Yes.
Well, nowadays
you could
you don't
just
want to
refer to them
gender-
all as
As
actors.
actors,
They're all
exactly.
actors. But the actress is more obviously you never refer to a male actor as an actress. You just wouldn't.
I just think yogini sounds really funny.
I do
though.
like
That's
yogini.
a really
It sounds
funny
like a
word.
vegetable.
hey
Yeah.
yogini.
Yeah, it's like fried yogini.
Yeah, give us some
Right.
cucumbers,
Garlic.
some squash, and some yoginis. Delicious.
Throw a couple yoginis on
Like,
there.
I don't know. It just sounds good. Is there one more that you just can't wait to share?
No, not really. I mean, they're all kind of basic. I like that. Where was it?
Go ahead.
Yoga relieves chronic pain in 89% of patients. I thought that's a
89%.
high number.
Wow,
right
that is
there.
it. 90%.
Almost 90%.
I think that number would have to be that study would have to be investigated upon to understand what that other small percentage, what's going on with that. I mean, because that's something to go into. It's like, okay, so
So you're saying you're not happy with 90%.
I'm
You're
not-
saying
I'm-
the 10%
I'm
are doing
saying
something wrong.
100%.
She's saying what I
Wow,
do.
all right.
I
This
can
is
help
fake
100%.
news, apparently.
Well, I feel like this. I feel like yoga is for everyone. It doesn't matter if you have no mobility, like you can't move, or you have all your mobility and maybe you're super active. It can be for anyone. Because there's different facets of yoga. Besides the physical practice, you have, like we said, the breath work, which as long as you're breathing, it can help anyone that's living anyway. I mean, if you're dead and you don't breathe, I guess, it's not going to help you. But
It's not going to help with that, yeah.
won't help you there if you're dead.
Yeah. So all those dead people listening right now,
Sorry.
yoga's not
We
for
can't
you. Sorry.
And then like meditation, that's a part of yoga,
Yeah.
Then if you look into, like we were talking about how I started reading up on yoga, and it's a way of living too. Like in the textbooks that you read, the philosophy and all, they'll talk about how you can take yoga off of your mat and live a more peaceful life. Inside, it starts like within you, and then it filters around without you or outside of you. So there's that, and then there's also a way of eating. There's the Ayurvedic philosophy of eating and of living. So if you want to take it deeper, you can find an aspect of yoga for anyone. So.
Well, it's a practice that has a lot of history.
Yes.
I mean, it's centuries and centuries old practice, right? I don't even know.
5,000 years.
Oh, stop.
I think, okay,
that what it
yes.
says?
Oh, pull it up, that
Is it really?
fact,
All
fun
right.
fact.
Your fact, man.
going
Yoga
right into
is
it.
over 5,000 years old.
It is.
I never would have thought that old. I
Oh
knew
my
it was
gosh,
very
yes.
old. but
I'm
not
glad I
that
printed
old.
these. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Fabulous.
another fun fact. I'll match your fun fact.
Let's see if it's on here.
One of the first, the first mention of yoga was in like an ancient textbook from India called like, I think it's like the Upanishads or something. And I'd have to look back, but I think that's what it's called.
Fact checkers.
So it is named for the first time, and it's actually being referred to as a meditation style of a way of transcending this human life and reaching kind of like a nirvana state.
Closer to God, so to speak.
Getting
Whatever
closer
in the-
to the creative source.
Something in Sanskrit, I'm imagining.
Yeah, I'm
Just,
sure it was
over
in
5,000
Sanskrit. I
years
can't
old.
tell you what it said.
Now there might be people that listen that go, I don't want like the spiritual
Yeah.
element,
And that's completely
and
fine.
that's I don't ever the practice that we've always done here, whether it be Zach or you for all these years, I've never felt like it was at odds with me having a Christian faith.
No.
I'm a Christian guy. I don't feel like I am unable to do yoga, which has massive benefits for lots of reasons.
Yes.
Because of my faith. But I'm not seeking a faith experience or a spiritual experience necessarily.
As well as you don't have to, yeah.
Right. So I think it's kind of wherever you want to go with it. As you
Yes.
said, you can go deeper, and there's a lot of ways to pursue this. And but for me, I wouldn't. I'm just talking to the person listening who goes, "Oh, I've never done it for that reason." It's like, well, you don't. It's okay. There's not.
There are some poses where I do feel the evil seeping in a little.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel it
Pigeon,
coming
you feel
in.
a
I
little
gotta go,
dirty
no.
with pigeon pose?
No.
no, it's like
There
you
are
can
a
take,
few-
No.
take what you want from it.
Take what
Yeah,
you want
you
from
can.
it, yeah. But I think we could all probably talk for several minutes about all of the ways that we feel it's benefiting us. But you had said something, Jen, previously about maybe some shoulds and should nots when it comes to practicing yoga.
Yes.
What are some tips there for our listeners to follow?
I mean, mainly what I think you should, like if there's a should do for yoga,
Yeah.
it should be to stay with your breath as though it was a moving meditation. If you're doing the actual physical practice, breathing and moving, you're still breathing when you're holding too. So there's that also, but staying with the breath is like an anchor, basically. It's like when you're in seated meditation, they call this an anchor because it's the one thing that keeps holding you into this present moment, bringing you back to it. That's the other thing, like I was going to say is, if you are a perfectionist, if you're someone that, tends to be a perfectionist, off the bat, when you start yoga, you might be thinking, oh, how well am I doing? So there's a don't. Don't worry about how well you're doing. I know that we're all human beings and that's going to happen and thoughts are going to come up in your mind and you're going to have a storyline. But you always have the opportunity to go back to your breath and back to what's happening in that present moment, whether it be a hold or a moving flow that you're doing.
Yeah.
So
And nasal breathing, obviously, which is
through the nose.
but it's called...
Ujjayi breath.
Ujjayi breath.
Yeah,
This is the one I
That's
was
the
trying
breath
to-
of your,
yeah.
the general breath of your practice.
Right. In through the nose, out through the mouth.
So it's in through the nose,
Or
out through the nose.
Out through the nose, but with the
using the tunnel breath.
the
through
tunnel breath
through the
at
throat.
the back of the throat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
that's right.
So I guess the reason why you said that though is because I do have you guys breathe out through your mouth a lot.
Sometimes, yeah.
I do because I feel that, and I think that this is kind of a proven thing where when you exhale and you go, and you just kind of sigh, your whole body then relaxes. Your cortisol levels go down. I just saw your face.
Oh, that's the side.
Yeah, that's your
Well,
sigh.
you even
I've
have
seen
us.
you
You
do
tell
it.
us to do that. Make
Yes.
the noise. Let your tongue just like
Relax in the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
We clench our jaw a lot.
We do.
And you have to think about how all these things relate. The jaw clenching relates to neck tension. Neck tension relates to shoulder tension and so on and so forth. It keeps going.
Yeah.
So in any way, if I can get you guys to relax through starting out with the breath, I do that. But the nasal breath in and out through the nose, that can be relaxing in itself. If you do like a few minutes, 3 to 4 minutes of that, and it's basically going to be like Darth Vader breath, right? We talked about how it sounds like that.
Right, yeah.
That's the breath I do when I'm cooking steaks.
Well, then it's probably relaxing for you to cook steaks.
Very relaxing. Just hungry. That's my hungry.
Heather's like looking out at you from the window, looking at the grill, and you're like not moving, and you have the spatula, and your eyes are closed, and like the steak's burning.
Yeah. Just
What the hell is he doing?
Fully zenned out.
Yeah.
Just zenned out.
That is a zen steak
Sleep
moment.
cooking steaks.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, that's it.
It's
It
a
was
spiritual
really good.
experience cooking a steak.
I liked you sharing that.
Yeah, that was
No,
great.
I mean I think so.
Any other
get it.
should or should nots that come to mind when practicing yoga? Anything?
No, they were all basically just kind of related to staying in the moment and not beating yourself up about it. You know,
we're quick to like, oh, that's not for me. Look how
Yes.
awful I am. You know,
well, because people look at all these pictures in the media,
Yeah.
and I get it. I'm those people too. We all get caught in that trap sometimes.
You have a picture of someone doing yoga.
Yeah, you
and
see it.
It don't
And
look
ain't-
like me.
and it ain't
yeah,
me. Right?
You're like you look at Steve and you're like, damn it, why can't I look like Steve?
No one's thinking
Actually,
that.
he's very good at
A
backbend.
lot of people are thinking
He's
that.
a
Yes.
very,
I'm just saying,
he's a
I
very
think that's-
flexible man.
To me, that was one of the barriers for me. It was like I'm a little fat. I'm not gonna look good doing these poses. And the mirror
agree.
certainly didn't help. But yeah, I guess you got to let go of some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And,
You're always
That's part of the
look here.
process.
I'm just saying,
What mirror are you looking
I'm
at?
saying a lot of people think they look silly doing something. They
Yes.
look in a big group. You go to a yoga class, like
Yes.
40 women there. You don't want to be looking all
true.
sweaty and look like a sweaty pig in the
But
back.
I think that's part of the process, part of everyone's own journey.
Sure.
You know, and you have to at some point decide for yourself, is the like kind of benefit over, you know, what I'm trying to say, kind of what's going to work for you best. And you can do yoga at home, but honestly, I think that if you go into a studio and, you know, for the first couple times, maybe it'll be a little bit uncomfortable, but you just kind of like work through it over time, part of the process.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
of course. It's like anything,
Yes.
I think. First time going to a spin class, you feel like an oddball. You
Right.
see other people crushing on their bike, or you do a Pilates class, or you do an aerobics
Everybody
class.
goes
All
through
your
that.
steps are wrong.
I mean,
or-
listen to what I
Yeah.
said too. It's like for my first yoga class, my first however many, like I felt that way. But then after a little while,
Couple
I
years.
started. There's maybe a handful of classes but mainly for me, like starting out in hot classes like that, I had to overcome getting in my head about the feeling of being in there and doing it because I felt really good afterwards. You know, after the margaritas. No, I'm just kidding.
Felt real good.
Real good.
Afterwards,
No, but-
for some reason, felt really
really
good.
good, really good. No, but like I would leave and I felt more open and more relaxed.
On the way to margaritas.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I get to have margaritas
Like
now.
10 a.m. It's true.
It was always
she did
at
morning
night.
yoga, margaritas, end of the day. She's done. That was it. Day ended at like
That was
12.
my day.
It didn't help that the yoga studio is right next to a very popular Mexican
In the
restaurant.
same complex.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. How has different aspects of yoga trickled into your everyday life? How do you apply it elsewhere?
Yeah, it's a really good question, actually.
Tying my shoes.
Yes, actually, that's a really
I
good
don't know.
one.
I mean, there's little things. Yeah, reaching my feet was always hard, and I feel
telling
like
you.
I could tie my shoes
Awesome.
without too much trouble
good.
anymore. So that's good.
Yeah.
like to hear that.
For me, certainly, just doing a lot of hip openers and stuff for my middle upper back. I just all these years sitting at a desk, I just feel like I'm just locking up in my middle upper back.
Yes.
I mean, my wrists from always being in a typing position. So I love all the wrist stuff. Definitely helps. Neck stuff, but I think that for me the hips are the big one. Trying to continue to be able to get down and stretch my adductors and open my groin up and be able to sit deeper in squats and stuff, which is only going to get more challenging as I.
Sure.
10 years from now, I'm going to be a little bit, less mobile than I am right now.
So you're doing preventative.
I really am. I feel like at least I'm kind of staying out ahead of it. I'd like to retain as much movement of my body as possible.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely helping. It's like I'm in at least maintenance
Yes.
mode.
Groinally,
Agreed.
at least.
Groinally speaking.
Groinally
speaking.
speaking.
Yeah. The groin.
that a new word?
Men are,
Maybe I made
dude.
that
I'm
up.
telling you, women move generally. I think
Groinally.
Would you shut up?
I like this word.
Constantly. Women, I think, just have a natural tendency to do certain types of motions or movements with their legs or their hips, and that men avoid. And men get increasingly tight through their hips and their groin, their adductors, where anything lateral becomes really. That's why it's so good to open up into warrior 2, into triangle, all these different ones where your legs are, pigeon, where you're really getting those legs to open up and stretch through there. I love. It's raining out a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's just that time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. They can hear us just perfectly
Is it okay?
fine.
Okay.
It's totally fine. It's going to be fine. We don't have to stop. We're good. So this is a time and a moment where I'd like to lighten things up a little bit. Not that we've been super serious the whole time or anything, but I want to actually, let's start with Lindsay as the newest to the group in the last year and a half. So you started here, roughly a year and a half, a little over a year and a half ago. And got into yoga right away with the group. Is there a moment, a particular day, a particular session, anything that comes to mind that was, funny to you or memorable to you in any way? Well, for whatever reason, it sticks out.
Well,
I'm sure there's several.
it was like my second day of work here. And it happened to be a Wednesday or something. And Mike asked me, do you want to do yoga? And luckily for me, I was wearing leggings and like a button-up shirt with a T-shirt under. So I was like, I guess I could wear this for yoga.
Give it a go.
I'll go do yoga.
No excuses.
I don't know where you two were.
We weren't here that day?
Oh, was it just you and Mike?
and I.
Oh.
That's fine.
So that had day
fine.
2 of your new job.
Yep.
It's you, your boss, and some new yoga person you just met.
And I'm like, all right. It's fine. It's fun. I'm having fun. Then we get to the end and we're doing like the meditation part, like 15 minutes. And we're laying there on the mat and I hear snoring.
Yep.
And I look over
Every time.
and Mike is like 100% asleep. And then we get to the part where you sit up and he is not sitting up. He's 100% asleep. And I'm like, what do I do? Like, am I supposed to wake him up? Is this normal? Like, my boss is right next to me sleeping. We're doing yoga.
Should I be sleeping too?
Am I doing wrong?
I'm really high strung right now. I can't fall asleep. Like, this is so weird. I don't know what to do. But he ended up waking up.
Hilarious. I didn't know any of this.
Yeah,
That's
that
really
was
funny.
my first week. First time doing yoga here.
Oh my gosh.
'Cause we probably
I'm sorry
did-
Steve and I weren't here for you that day.
I know. And then next week came around. He's like, Lindsay, you want to do yoga? And I'm like,
You're like, I'm not sure. 'Cause
I
think
didn't
it
wear
was
the
like,
right clothes.
It was one of those ones where I did like what I call half and half, when it's like probably about 45 minutes. It's not really half and half, but 45 minutes yoga and then like physical practice and then 15 minutes of the relaxation thing.
Mike really
That's
likes the
probably what
story
you call it.
time and
Oh,
the
he loves
closing
it.
of his
That is
eyes
his jam, dude.
and he's out.
He's like, yeah, do the story time, and then he's like,
He's really just looking for naps.
Some people need
well,
a nap.
you know
No,
what?
and it's
Val?
fine.
Let
If the
me
boss
let me
needs
ask
a
you
nap,
guys this: like during the yoga nidra part, like the sleepy yoga, do you feel like you've gone into like different levels of sleep sometimes?
100%.
Because that's something, and it can be very therapeutic to your brain. So that's why, like, and people can kind of look that up too. And we talked about even maybe doing something like this, like a guided meditation in the future, like yoga nidra. Nidra is Nidra.
You've done a really good job of, putting us through a pretty challenging routine and then always making time at the end, whether it's 5 or 10 minutes, 15 minutes of that kind of relaxation. And I'll tell you, it's for me, it's refreshing. I don't drag after yoga. Some people will. Some people feel sleepy and now I'm tired and it takes me an hour to wake back up kind of. Whereas I feel like maybe initially coming out of it before we go into seated and do an om to finish, I can feel a little bit kind of still, just relaxed and coming out of it. But once I'm back up on my feet, I feel refreshed. It's like I went out for a walk or something, or got a nap. So to me, I see it as a great refresher, and I just feel good that I did something I know that's just really beneficial to my body. Yeah. And so I think it all plays together. But I love the relaxation element, and I have a tendency I will fall asleep too.
Yeah.
Hopefully not snoring, but possibly. So, Steve, your turn.
possible.
What comes
Was
to
the
mind
question
for
again?
you? All right. Anything that has been truly memorable over the last three and a half years of doing yoga. I mean, we've had a lot of funny moments.
For me,
Yes.
first of all, Wednesdays
Yes.
are like my leg day because I'm sore afterwards.
Yes.
I don't know, just putting all of my weight on like one leg for a long period of time. You'll be switching between positions, but it's all basically on the one leg for
Right,
like a
the
bit.
leading leg.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I
all
get
right,
you.
now we're going to get all balance on that leg. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, there's no way I'm balancing on
Right.
this.
Your,
I need a
your
refresher.
glutes like giving up.
Yeah, everything's tight up. So I'll just say that. In terms of a funny story, it's just something that happened recently. We were doing the Nidra part. Typically,
yeah.
Jen tells us a story, and it's like a relaxing story. It's like,
Yes.
you're floating down a river.
Find a flower.
And the flower, and I'm like, I'm not good at the meditation stuff. Like, I think I'm just like high cortisol. I'm always like, blah, 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 blah.
You had told me that before, but I feel like you're getting better.
Maybe I'm getting better.
I don't know.
I feel like I'm not very good.
Okay.
Absolutely can't fall asleep. But like, I'm party. So this is the reason
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
She's like, and then you're relaxing. And what I hear in my head is like, all right, you're drifting. And then there are some bees. and I don't think she said bees. I forget what it was you said.
sounded
but
like bees.
in my head, I'm like picturing the river. I'm relaxing. The water is lapping up my face.
And then there's
and
bees.
here come the bees. And I'm like, oh, shit. Where are the bees?
Get away from
I totally lost it.
His
in
head
the-
popped up. He was like, bees. I was like, I didn't say bees. Lay back down.
Something about like my knees, maybe you were talking
I
about.
forget.
Whatever
Breeze.
it was,
Maybe it was
I heard.
breeze.
And here comes a horde of bees. I was like, what kind of relaxing story is this? So that was funny. I don't know. That's all I got.
That's very entertaining.
I like that.
And all the noises we all make. Everyone's.
Yeah.
It's a very noisy
Yeah,
grunting.
see, that's-
Some tootin'.
Who?
You.
What about me?
Tootin'.
Some
What-
tootin',
oh,
some rootin' tootin'.
Rootin' tootin'.
Some of the
Rootin' tootin'.
poses help you, pass some gas,
Yeah, I don't
especially
know. Have
this
I
guy
tooted
over
in
here.
class? Maybe.
Apparently all the time.
All the time?
Lindsay was
Well-
telling me the other day, all the time.
All the time?
Once I heard it.
Maybe
it was loud.
once. Yeah, maybe once. I mean, there's some pressure build up sometimes.
What did
right?
it sound like, Lindsay? What was it? And he tried to pass it off as if nothing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, he
forgettable
did.
for me. That didn't. I'm
Probably
glad.
happy baby. That's also called wind passing.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've heard a few toots.
Wind passing
You've,
pose.
Wind releasing pose.
you've heard a few of these over the years, no doubt,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's
like
gonna
if
happen.
it helps relieve constipation.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
should I tell them what it is in case they don't know? Happy baby.
Sure.
lay on your
explain it.
back.
Yeah, yeah. You lay on
You
your
lay
back.
on your back and you bend your knees, separate your knees and grab either your big toes with your peace fingers or you grab your feet kind of from the outsides and just kind of lift the soles of your feet.
Like
up to the
what a
ceiling.
baby does when you're changing their diaper.
Yeah, and
they
you
get
can
the
rock
legs
like
back
the baby.
and they grab their feet. Yeah.
So.
It does feel good. It's actually a relaxed pose.
It is.
It
It's
feels
nice.
feels good. So for me, as Steve was saying, there's been a lot of humorous moments where it's really the three of us, Steve, Mike, and myself, struggling to get into a particular position while Lindsay's just effortlessly like, la 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 la, I'm in boat pose. This feels so good. La la la, I can do it
Yawning.
exceptionally well.
Doing
And then-
exceptionally well.
And then Mike and I are sitting there trying to wrangle one leg heel to our butt and then rolling over aggressively trying to get to
in-
our other
in
foot.
bow
Yeah, that's what I do.
pose.
Oh, bow, not boat.
Oh yes.
Bow
Oh my
pose.
god. But that was really good. Last week you guys coined a whole way of getting into boat pose.
We did, and I still couldn't accomplish it.
Coined
Though.
a
I'm very
whole
tight
way.
through
Like
the
that was
quads.
the Mike method.
The Mike method. Yeah, it was really good.
The Mike Westerdahl method. You guys called it the Westerdahl.
The Westerdahl.
Okay,
was
it might
good.
look like it's so effortless and easy, but there
You
is
feel it.
some discomfort.
Oh yeah,
there.
yeah. She feels it.
I feel everyone feel bad for Lindsay for a second for how hard
So
she's
bad,
working.
but I do
discomfort.
yoga.
Yeah.
The discomfort is like
emotional. The acrobat struggling to get into position.
It's uncomfortable hearing all the sounds we're making.
It is.
gotta get
It
out of
is.
here.
The groans and the moans are certainly very entertaining.
Yes, for sure.
But we've gotten into like some giggles where somebody will do something, whether it's you or Mike, and then I just can't shake them,
Yeah.
or Mike can't shake. We've had these moments where Mike and I always have a tendency to be a side by side. And have you noticed how much room he takes up? He has a
He's
tendency,
always
he
moving.
gravitates
That's why, yeah.
to me, where I'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
on a corner by the pole, and I'm like, I'm off the mat.
Yeah, you
And
guys are
literally,
tickling each other
he
half
has,
the time.
he has all this space. Jen's all the way up at the front, and Mike has this hole, and yet there he is, cramming me
Can
into
you
a
imagine
corner.
how Courtney feels in
I'm
bed
saying.
every night?
I'm saying. And
I don't
then-
want to imagine.
And then we're like doing at the end we're doing some stretches, and I'm like his hands like
guys are, like,
touching
holding
my
hands.
hand. I'm like, would you get
I think it's
away?
very romantic.
You know, we do get kind of fun. It gets a little slap happy.
We
and
do get a
giddy,
little-
but I think it's like, as an adult, you're just like, you don't play like that. You know what I mean? You're sitting, you're standing, you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
It's like rolling around on the ground, and you kind of start feeling like a happy baby. You know what I mean? A little bit.
Yeah,
think you're right.
It is. It's like adult
There's
play.
an
It's
element
a little
of that.
bit.
Yeah, and I think that's really nice because how much do we actually get to play? We're supposed to be so serious most of the time, and it's like nice to actually be able to just let go and get into that spirit.
Yeah.
100%.
But also, you guys focus a lot too. You guys get a lot done, and I've told you before.
Just giving us a lot of credit.
No, I'm
Yes.
serious though.
I think she really likes us.
I really do. I really like you. But so, like, I've seen these things that are kind of like little victories for everybody. And we even like have a little celebration about it. Like when you've touched your heels before in camel pose
We're
to
like,
the back
"Yay."
bend. It's amazing because he's worked on it for a really long time, and that's big.
Yeah,
Or just like
camels.
little things like that. You all have some things like that.
We all got some stuff. Steve does a great wheel.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, somehow my back
So-
is flexible for
It
some
is.
reason. I
Describe,
don't know.
Steve, I would like you to describe wheel to our listeners because there's a lot of people listening who have no idea what wheel pose is. Can you describe? I want to hear your best.
I don't know how I would
description.
describe that.
Yeah,
Like a back bend?
t-
Yeah, it's a
talk about
back
how you
bend.
get into position for
Yeah.
it.
You lay
talk
on the
about that.
ground, you put your feet on the ground, and then you put your hands up behind you, up behind
your
and
head,
shoulders.
lift up.
and then push up into the air so your belly is
Belly,
up
you're making,
towards this.
you're making like an upside down U.
upside down
With
U.
your body.
Lift your head,
Yeah.
and I can get in the wheel. I can't get like you get. You get really lifted up with a great arch. I'm
Well, I
like
was a
struggling to
cheerleader
get
in
my
high
head
school,
3
so-
inches up.
Were you
Oh,
though?
you were.
I was.
Oh, okay. We
That
were
would've
like,
been
I
great.
would believe it though because he's very
You would
flexible.
believe it?
He's very flexible. So I
Could he
figured.
sell you on it if he said I was actually a cheerleader in high school? Would you believe it?
Kinda.
Yeah.
There are male cheerleaders
You're
out
just
there.
so girly.
Did you?
Just so girly. And when I came in with the pom poms, you were in the skirt.
Did you do gymnastics ever?
No.
No.
I'm
Karate?
familiar. I did sun salut. I did
Parkour.
acting stuff, and the acting teacher would have us do sun salutations in the morning. That's about as close as I got
You're
to
just
anything,
naturally flexible.
anything athletic when I was in high school.
Well, hey, that's okay.
It is surprising that your back bends the way it does.
I think
Yeah.
it's just
For being a
it's
grown
ready to
man.
break. I think is what the deal is.
So
There's no strength.
you're I guess you would classify yourself as kind of a mobile yoga instructor.
Mobility. I would. Well,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, in terms
think-
of like how you don't have a class spot where people come to you. You go and do. You're
Sort of
on
nomadic.
the go.
I'm
Or-
only at one studio right now.
Yeah.
Well, I teach at Innisbrook, at the
Yeah,
golf
okay.
club up
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
also the only
But then you
actual
were doing the race
studio is
stuff,
yes. So I do like private jobs a lot, like you guys, and I have different private clients.
Okay.
But then I decided a little while ago that it was easiest for me to stay at one studio. So I'm at
Okay.
Blend Sweat Social.
Okay.
She has 2 different locations, and it's a really great community there. But then as far as private jobs, I will come to you. I like to get to know the clients first before I go to
like
a business
dinner?
or a house or so. Yeah, or
It's a
I'll just
good-
like meet up and talk or something like that. So
Margarita, just dinner and a couple margs and get to know each other first.
My requirement is we go out for margaritas, and then we talk
That's a
about
mess.
yoga. And then, that's great.
We'll see where it goes from there.
Let me see where it goes from there. Well, it's amazing how much time has passed, and you're consistently coming. Every Wednesday, we know you're going to be here, and it's going to be worth our blood, sweat, and tears. Certainly our tears, Steve.
Certainly tears.
And it's certainly benefiting us. In fact, we have yoga tomorrow.
Yes,
We're
it's
recording
always
this on a Tuesday, and Wednesday is our day of the week with you.
yeah, yes, I know. It's a highlight of my Wednesday for sure. You
Good.
guys are so fun. Seriously, we always have a good time.
We do entertain and,
Oh my
and
gosh, yes.
make you laugh.
I
would
always
you,
leave with
would
a
you
smile.
say that we're the most entertaining of your clients? Would you
Hands
say?
down.
Hands
Now
down.
I'm looking at the camera right now. It's the truth, though. I always leave with a smile. So
Yeah,
I love
remember
that.
when someone else gave her a black eye?
Oh, gosh,
yeah. Will you
yes.
share that one?
Okay, all right.
A couple years ago now.
Yeah. Okay. So this poor lady. So I was in a studio class, and I was. I like to help students when they want to do inversions too, if they need help. And so she had asked for help in a headstand, but she was very new to headstands. And I was standing partially behind her, but I told her not to kick up. But I think all she heard was kick up. And she kicked up really hard, and her heel hit my left eye. And that's how I got the black eye.
Goodness gracious.
That's what you call. That's what you told the authorities.
That's what I told the authorities, yes. But I had everybody asking. It was just like, everybody's like, oh my God, are you okay? So this went on for a little bit, because black eyes stay for
Sure,
like 3 weeks or so.
They're like,
Everyone's
do we need
looking
to
at
talk
everyone's
to
looking at your
Brian?
Yeah, is
husband,
everything
yeah.
okay at home?
home?
I even had like one of the studio owners called me, and she says, my stepfather was in fixing something when you were there, and he saw your black eye. Is everything okay? And I was just like, no, somebody kicked me in another studio by mistake. And she was like, oh, okay, I just want to make sure. So it's just like an ongoing thing for a little bit.
And I recall, this might be more than a couple years ago, when you had that head injury
geez.
from that thing
Yes.
you were balancing on top of something.
Friends, you can harm yourself doing yoga, especially if you try to do yoga on inanimate objects. And this was a stone bench. So,
And you were like doing, what were you doing?
I was doing
Headstand?
a back bend.
A back bend
I was
on top
holding the side of a bench. And the bench, I did not realize at the time that it was two pieces. There was a top that you sit on, and then the bottom that was holding it up. And we actually tested it at first, because I had two other ladies that we were doing it for Insta, all for the gram.
All for the gram.
All for the gram.
You got to hurt yourself for the gram at least once.
Come on.
Worth it.
So worth it. But yeah, so we tested, and we're like, oh no, this is good. But then I go into the back bend after they went into their stuff, and I go, let's lift one leg. And that took the weight off balance. And that's when it started to slide off to one side. And I lost my balance, and I fell onto like the corner of the stone, and it just
sliced your
my
head.
and I had to get staples in my head.
Yeah, you did. I remember. And you came in to teach like days after.
Oh yeah.
And
I
you're
asked
like
them.
all bandaged up, and you're like, I'm going to be taking it easy today with you guys. And we're like,
She's facing the wrong
horrified.
way. Like, Jen, we're back. We're over here, Jen. What? Oh,
I'm
yeah.
still seeing double
with
of
a
you.
head
So.
injury. Yeah, I was like, why are you here right now?
No, there was
Get
no
healthy.
concussion, I swear.
No.
But there was it was a bad injury. But as long as I wasn't in a heated room, because I had to take off from teaching heated yoga for like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
But the first thing I asked them when they put staples in my head, I was like, can I do handstands tomorrow? And they were like, crazy lady. Like,
Probably not.
no, I'm going to say no.
Man, that's when you know you got a serious instructor, man. They're talking about, can I still do yoga tomorrow after
Can
my
I do
head gets
handstands?
patched together? Unbelievable.
I
All
do
right.
like conversions a lot.
So this is the fun time in our yoga
I thought we just had fun time.
conversation. Well,
It's more
this
fun
is
time.
the extra fun time where we get to plug all of our fun opportunities for people to get more yoga from Jenn.
Yay.
So the first one, which is a great resource, as we all know, is our YouTube content. So on our main Critical Bench YouTube channel, even on the Compound channel, there is a ton, mostly on the main channel, of yoga content featuring Jenn, featuring our friend Zach. They've done. You guys have done videos
did
together.
acro yoga
you
together.
did acro
He
yoga
put me up
together.
on his feet.
You
It was
did.
fun, yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And so I encourage anyone listening, if you want to get familiar with it, if you want to see Jenn in practice, if you want to follow her in some flows, learn how to do some poses. Would you stop? I talk with my hands. Such an idiot. Why did I bring this guy? I encourage you, please go to our main YouTube channel and just type yoga practice, type yoga poses, type yoga flow, anything you want into the search, and you will find, at this point, we probably have 100 videos at least with yoga on our channel. Now, if you want to go a little deeper and get some really amazing content that's for beginners, you could go to criticalbench.com, which is our company's website, and you go to the shop feature at the top of the page. And that brings you to all of our paid for programming. And we have a lot. If you go to mobility and flexibility options, you will find Jenn's Easy Yoga Flow for Beginners. Now, this is the DVD, which is old school.
We all get one. Here we go.
Everyone gets one.
For participating.
Here for you, Lindsay. Or for Steve. And no, but this obviously this is the archaic DVD for our older demographic. If you're 50 plus, you probably still have a DVD player. If you don't, you can get the digital version of this and stream it.
These will go into your PlayStation, though.
These would go
Get
in your.
out.
Actually, if you have a
I guess I kinda
PS4,
knew that, yes.
PS4, PS5,
So there
these
you
will
go.
play. Yeah,
These will
Heck
work.
yeah.
these will work because we watched them here on that
Yeah.
to test them and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is great. It has 4 routines in it. It's all Jenn, only Jenn.
There you are.
It's for
All me.
beginners, and it's really a good introduction into
Yeah.
yoga
Oh,
for
sure.
anyone just wanting to put their toe in the water. Highly recommend Easy Yoga Flow for Beginners. Again, go to our website, company website, criticalbench.com. Click shop at the top, and it'll take you to all of our paid for programming, and you will find Easy Yoga Flow for Beginners with the one and only Jenn Witaconis. And so this is a lot of fun for all of us, and just great to have you in here and give you an
Appreciate
opportunity to talk yoga with us.
Yes,
And
thank you.
we learned a lot about you today, actually.
Some things.
I think we know what we're getting you for Christmas.
Our
A
yogini.
little,
I can't wait to see.
That's how she got the black eye.
That's
the real
There
story.
were like margarita glasses all around
bar fight.
You guys have to go to a hot yoga class with me, and then we'll get margaritas.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We should do that.
Deal.
Sounds
Okay.
amazing.
Deal. At some point, we'll have to do
Might
that.
get
We're
into
gonna do
yoga
it.
after. I'm gonna become an instructor.
This is fun. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Lindsay,
Yeah,
for
for having us.
participating today. This is great. Always fun. Thank you, listeners, for listening in, tuning in to the Strong by Design podcast. So happy to have you. We're grateful for your support, for coming back every week and listening to all of our content here. Every episode, we either feature a special guest or we have in-house content with the wonderful Jared Haley or the amazing Tanya Fines. Every once in a while, we get Mike Westerall, the founder of Critical Bench, on the podcast. And we're just so grateful for you for coming back, and hope you share this episode with a friend or a family member, somebody maybe who needs to benefit from some yoga practice in their life. We all can benefit. As Jenn said, everybody can benefit from yoga. So we encourage you to give it a try, and we'll talk with you next time on Strong by Design. God bless. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Strong by Design podcast. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe so that more people can find out about our show. Plus, you don't want to miss any future episodes with the amazing guests and topics we have lined up for you.